what is really in the top of my mind has been the heat dome from summer 2021. That was incredibly oppressive, and watching people gather together in the park to be able to provide water to each other, to cool each other off, just to even kind of check in and see where we're at as humans. And I think that was a really great example of sharing a physical space, having resources available at that space, and then having people come to cool off, but also come to pick up supplies and distribute them to the people that they knew that were in need, who could not actually get to that place. So I think building a space that is open, whether it's beautiful and perfect and you're doing something joyful and just purely fun together, and making sure that's a safe place that can translate into, hey, we need to get water. I have some neighbors that don't have air conditioning and I haven't seen them in 3 days, or, something has gone terribly wrong. It's a place to kind of coordinate also, again, and share resources and also distribute resources. So I think there's a lot of power to be had, especially with the environmental challenges that we've been facing here in East Portland in particular. But also, I think something that's on my forefront of my mind is sort of with these economic headwinds, what is that going to look like for people, whether they don't have jobs, whether they're aging out of being able to work, and being able to support folks just together, despite whatever may happen, whether, again, that's climate or something that's sort of a little bit more human and culturally induced.
After the heat waves of 2021 that have caught everyone off guard, from community members to government organizations to our elected leaders, a lot of folks have spent the last year being proactive to try to be better prepared this year, to try to overcome deaths and suffering, and to try to make everyone's lives easier, because what we've heard from our community members is that they don't want to be resilient, they want to thrive. There's been, positions created and funding devoted to learning how to, studying how to overcome environmental related adversities, with the intent of hopefully helping more community members thrive this summer, as opposed to, fearing for their safety or for their lives. For our organization, we've joined forces with others and just started showing up more at the park with supplies that we've collected from where there's a surplus in our community, whether from other community members or businesses, right? Like even just water or food, snacks, safety supplies. And just showing up and distributing them more in the community, so that kind of becomes like the new normal, where we're sharing those resources with each other. We know where those resources are. We know we can access them. We know we don't need money to access them. And that becomes a little bit more of the norm, as opposed to only doing those things in a situation of crisis where it's already too late for a lot of people. Now that's become a part of our, weekly rhythms in some of these neighborhoods in East Portland, where people are showing up for one another with supplies on a weekly basis.